morning, good afternoon, and good evening to you. The people of the tube. Hope you're well today. Hope you're feeling grand and all is well in your world. I've turned into a Dalek. Exterminate. Exterminate. Where is Davros? Anyway, moving along swiftly and then moving along stupidly. Ooh. Okay, moving along. Hi, everybody. Welcome to another How Many Tones video. Can you get out of 1 amp, everybody? Featuring the gorgeousness, which is the CR120. I haven't done one of these videos in ages. And this is the first one I've done with the new camera, the new setup, the microphone on the cab. So, this will be interesting. You heard the intro. So you can kind of guess who it. Well, you know who we're doing because you can see the title. Angus Young, everybody, from AC/DC. I was gonna do Angus Young and Malcolm Young in the same video, but I want to do Malcolm in a separate one because their tones are the same but not. If that makes any sense. Like Malcolm's tone is a bigger sound than Angus's. You know what I mean? It's a really fat sound. He used big strings compared to Angus, and he just had a bigger sound. And I thought, in respect to Malcolm Young, I thought I'm going to do a video for him alone. So I will do a follow-up video to this in a couple of weeks, doing Malcolm Young's tone. But today we're going to focus on Little Angus. So, yes, Angus Young. We all know Angus Young is renowned for using a BC Rich Mockingbird for a Mesa Boogie. And who believed that? Obviously nobody. I'm trying to be funny, everybody, but it ain't working. But yes, we all know Angus Young is famous for using SGs through Marshalls. That's the winning combination. That's pretty much it. Yeah, that is pretty much all he uses. Apart from a Schaefer wireless unit, which he used back in the day, which some people say that isn't key to his sound. But some people say it is key to his sound, having that Schaefer replica, because the Schaefer replica was an old wireless unit. I think a guy called Ken Schaefer made it. And what he did in the wireless unit, I think it was made in the 70s. Yes, it was. He put a preamp in the wireless just to compensate for signal loss. And through using that preamp, you could drive the amp more. And there's stories, rumour has it, of Angus Young recording without the Schaefer wireless and it wasn't sounding right, and somebody asked him what was wrong, and he said, I'm not using my wireless, so he used his wireless and all of a sudden the tone was there. But a lot of people will dispute that, saying, oh no, that's not his definitive tone. His definitive tone is just straight into a Marshall, cranked and whatever. Whereas there are other people who say, no, that is the definitive part of Angus Young's tone. So, you know, be that for what it is, we don't actually know. You know, it could be. In my experience, you find people, especially older guitarists like, you know, Richie Blackmore, Jimi Hendrix, Angus Young, and you know, all these people who used Marshall plexis. They always had something else in the chain. Like a little secret, well, not really secret, but like a little secret sauce, so to say, to add on top of the plexi to make it their own. Like Richie Blackmore had his tape recorder. You know, Jimmy had his fuzz pedals and his wah pedals, and you know, people have treble boosters through plexis as well. I mean, during the 80s, people would mod them, but people would still use treble boosters through Marshall plexis, because the sound you get when you run a treble booster through a plexi, kind of cranked, is unlike any other amp. It's the sound of... It's a classic rock sound, full stop. That the Marshall plexi is that sound, you know, especially if it's boosted. So I would be more in the camp of saying it's definitely... I wouldn't say it's 100% key to his sound, but I would say it adds quite a bit to his sound, the Schaefer wireless unit, to be honest with you. Because it's got, you know, because he always used a wireless live, so it's like, you know, you and his tone is very, very consistent, you know, with one or another. It's just that really classic, you know, driven Marshall tone. So yeah, be that for what it may, I don't know, but that is literally all he uses. It's an SG into the wireless unit, into the Schaefer wireless, and then into a Marshall plexi. thanks to the awesome rig rundown by Premier Guitar, we which I rewatched this morning just to make sure I definitely had some of my facts right, because I was a bit like, now is that true? Let's go back. So he runs up to 9+ Marshalls at a time per gig. And that powers all sorts of different amps on different parts of the stage. So he can go all over the stage and still hear his guitar. So he has like cabs over on the right side, left side, in the side fills, all over the place. And all these amps power that. And so yeah, he uses 9+ Marshall 100-watt plexes. Although I do believe he uses 50 watts as well. I have seen pictures of what look like early 70s 50-watt plexes in the large boxes. They look, I don't know, there's something slightly different about the, also his chassis is tiny, and that's what kind of makes me go, I think he's using 50 watts as well. I don't think they are all hundreds. But recently too found out that his plexes are all modded now. They've all got a master volume and a preamp, so they're a lot more like the master volume kind of era JMP than the earlier kind of plexi styles. But they're still plexis. They still have that kind of plexi sound. So like I say, yeah, simple Marshall Plexi, wireless unit, SG, and his hands. And obviously, the school hat and the uniform, that's kind of key to the tone as well. If you didn't have that on, it wouldn't sound anything like that. Is, the school uniform is the tone uniform. Anyway, talking nonsense now. Is there anything else I forgot to talk about? No, I don't think there is. That is literally his setup. It's dead simple. It's plug in and play and just go mental, like we all know he does. So, I'm using the dirty channel of the CR120 today to replicate his sound as best I can. You heard You Shook Me All Night Long at the beginning. I feel it's pretty close. It's pretty close. I mean, it's never going to be 100%. I don't have an SG. I don't have his Marshalls. I'm not him. So it's never going to be 100%, but I feel it's pretty darn close if you're asking me. So, let me tell you the settings of what I've got the CR120 set for. We're going through the JCM 900 Marshall cab today as well. I did try through the orange cab, but I didn't like it as much as I liked it through the JCM 900. So we're going through a stock JCM 900 cab. Okay, so dirty channel CR120. Volume on the dirty channel is all the way up on 10. Treble is all the way off, so treble's on 0. Middle, which is the most powerful dial you won't be messing with on the CR120, I personally think. The middle is on 3, so it's quite high for me. Not for for some other people, but that's quite high for me. I'd never really run the EQ anywhere near that on the CR120. So I've got middle on 3. Bass is all the way off as well. We're getting a lot of beef from the Marshall cab, so we don't really need the bass. And I've got gain at 4. So just to recap, volume is on 10, treble's on 0, middle's on 3, bass is on 0, and gain is on 4. Because Angus's tone isn't heavily distorted. It's that classic rock tone. There's not tons and tons of gain. It's just a driven amp tone. And the CR120, when it's around 4 or 5, it gets that real kind of classic Plexi-esque kind of sound. 5 was a little bit too much gain. 4.5 was a little bit too much. 4 seemed to be like the sweet spot for that kind of classic Plexi kind of sound. And I've got the master volume on 2, which is where I normally run it for these videos. And I've got no reverb, as Angus Young doesn't need reverb as he plays arenas. Okay, so that's what I've got going. It's pretty simple, and I'm not using any pedals. We're just straight in. So as you can see. So without further ado, I think I've yacked on for way too long. Yes, most possibly. Let's play some more AC/DC, and then you can let me know what you think in the comment section below. So let's rock out. Oh yeah, by the way, I'm going to turn the room mics off as well. You're just going to hear the SM57 on the cab. Okie dokie. Let me know what you think about that. Sounds really close. It's as close as I can get it. It sounds really. Because what I was going for that kind of more live Angus Young kind of tone, because the studio tones can vary, and obviously, and I find it's easier to go to live tones because they're a bit more attainable, so to say. Studio sounds can be a bit finicky because you got to kind of consider what it's been run through. If it's kind of like been run, if it's on tape, it'll sound warmer. You know, has it been EQ'd? You know, is it 1 amp? Is it multiple amps? What is it? What mic placement? What mics are they? So I think going after a kind of like a live sound is a bit more like an attainable kind of sound for these kind of videos, because there's not as much in the way, unless obviously we've done overdubs. But there's not as much in the way of that kind of like, you know, that direct rock tone or that direct sound from that person at that point in time. So that's what I've kind of gone for. I've gone for that kind of Angus Young kind of live kind of tone, and I feel that's really close. It's an amazing sound to play because it's really dynamic and it's really big and it's really powerful sound. It's just the sound of classic rock, and it's immensely awesome. And I love it to bits. It's such a cool thing. And good God almighty, is there anything this thing cannot do? If there is, I haven't found it yet. But that's the whole point of this series. We're trying to find things that this amp can't do. But at this point in time, it seems to do it all. It really does. I mean, out of all the... I don't know how many videos we're in on this series now. And I've kind of neglected this series, which is a bit stupid on my part. I don't mean to neglect it. I've just been, like, getting other things in there. But every tone... There's certain ones that I'm not happy with. The Jimmy Page and the Eric Clapton Bluesbreaker ones I'm not happy with at all, and I want to redo. But everything else I feel has just been so close. I mean, it's like I say, everything's never going to be 100%, but you can get the idea, and that is just ridiculous. That is just the classic sound of classic rock. And it does, and it's really strange too. It's like I think I'm slightly out of tune. But it's really strange, like, sorry, everyone. Yeah, D string slightly gone there. It's really strange. When you get this kind of sound, you do end up like coming up with like AC/DC kind of riffs. You can kind and you can go into one of the better songs. But you get the, if you know what I mean, it's like it really inspires you to play that way. And that's wicked. That's all you want. If you're going after that, if you're going after a sound of somebody like Angus Young or Jimi Hendrix or whoever, you know, and you get a sound that makes you just want to play their music, then you've got it. You know what I mean? It really is. And this just makes me want to play big rock chords all day long. And just come up with those really kind of like classic big open chord riffs. It's just so cool. So cool. Oh, and by the way, I was using the Revelation, this one. I forget the I'm terrible. I'm being dyslexic. I'm terrible with numbers, so I can't remember what this one's called. But it's a very, very awesome guitar, and I love its bits. And these humbuckers are ridiculously good. So, yeah, this is the guitar I was using. Like I say, straight into the CR120, dirty channel, no pedals. Plug in and play and have fun. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video, everybody. Yeah, it's been fun. It's been fun, and it was a very easy tone to find. Yeah, it was very, very quick. It took me only took a couple of hours of just tweaking and going, that sounds really close. And I was kind of referencing it to the kind of the AC/DC River Plate show, because I think that's a very, it's an amazing tone he's got at that gig. And again, it could have been messed with, but it's still it's that sound of AC/DC that we all know and we all love. It's just that classic rock tone. So anyway, I'm all like pumped up and G'd up now. Like, yeah, let's go and do a gig. Let's just play AC/DC. That's what AC/DC do to you. And again, they are the personification of how simple music, simple guitar chords can be so effective. You know, like, you know, if you take, like, you know, You Shook Me All Night Long, or Back in Black, or Hell's Bells, or Highway to Hell, or whatever song they do. They're all so straightforward and simple. You know, verse, chorus, guitar solo, chorus, end most of the time. And that's the, you know, and that's it. There is no getting used to it. It just immediately hits you in the face, and you just love it from a get go. You know, it just does things because it's so simple. It's so straightforward. It's cool. Anyway, I really hope you enjoyed this video, everybody. Let me know how close you think I got in the comment section below. Yeah, and I will see you again. I won't be able to get a video done for Monday this week. I'll have to see you again on Wednesday for Q&A. Because I've got a gig Saturday and Sunday. I'm at an all-day event supplying backline and gigging there as well later on in the night. And because I'll be there from 9:30 till 12 o'clock at night, from 9:30 in the morning till 12 o'clock at night, and I've got a gig on Saturday as well, and I won't have time to film a video for Monday. So I'm afraid there will be no video Monday, I'm afraid. I'm really sorry about that. I might do a live stream Monday instead, but I might be dead from exhaustion at that point. So just watch this space. But I will let you know in the community part of the channel what's going on Monday. But if not, I will see you again on Wednesday for Q&A Wednesday, everybody. Thank you so much for watching. I say, let me know what you think. Let me know how close you think I got to the Angus Young's tone. I say, we'll revisit in a couple of weeks and do Malcolm's tone. I need to get some gauge 12 strings. That's not going to happen. Break my hands in the process. Anyway, but yeah, hope you enjoyed this video, everyone, and have a great morning, afternoon, and good evening. Have a great weekend, and I will see you again next week. Goodbye now. Have a great one.